the Mets have found a new way to embarrass themselves publicly. And the New York Knicks, the win machine rolls on. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, Ken?
I'm doing better than Tom Slater and Chili Davis today, that's for sure.
Yeah, all right, so let's start with that. Fine. It's embarrassing. And I don't care how much of a Met fan you may be. I don't care what you think about my fandom crap and all that. What the New York Mets did here.
What's embarrassing?
All right, let me walk you through it. Good question. For the New York Mets to create, promote, and market a fictional hitting instructor, the guy we all had fun talking about the last couple of days, Donnie Diesel Stevenson, right?
Diesel Donnie, yes.
Knowing that they've made the decision to fire Chili Davis and the other guy. All right.
He has a name, Tom Slater.
Tom Slater, okay.
The other guy.
The owner knew that they were firing Chili Davis and Tom Slater because according to reports of guys that cover the Mets, the decision was made a week ago and they only waited because of COVID protocol. Mm-hmm. We'll get into that later on. So to promote and market a fictional hitting instructor when you're firing the current one is just not right.
Well, who promoted and marketed it? That was
the
Pete
owner
Alonso.
Did. No, you missed it then.
No, I know that Steve Cohen tweeted about him.
And then the Mets yesterday put something out on Twitter.
That's not promoting it. Were they selling T-shirts for him?
They basically were using a giveaway.
Well, they were having fun.
If we have 10,000 retweets about Donnie Diesel, you're going to win a prize.
Listen, that's not promoting and marketing necessarily.
That's exactly what it is.
Look, if you want to have an issue with Met players who may have gotten these guys fired, that's fine. Because we always talk about NBA players getting coaches fired. If all of a sudden the New York Mets, specifically Pete Alonso, starts talking about Donnie Diesel, you could absolutely say, hey, isn't that kind of disrespectful to the guys who are actually the hitting coaches? And did that lead potentially to the firing of these guys? That's fine. But I don't look at this as embarrassing.
Listen,
what's embarrassing?
I'm going to say it again.
It's typical.
If it was a Will Pond-owned team, you guys would be going crazy.
The Will Ponds don't own the team.
Pass.
The Will Ponds don't own the team.
So how come there's a free pass right now? Look, at
free
the end
pass
of the
for
day,
what? Their offense has sucked. They fired the hitting coaches. This is normal.
But it's not just firing the hitting instructors.
It's the fact they created Donnie Diesel.
It's the fact that they came up with a fictional hitting instructor.
Who came up with him?
Well, I'm assuming the players did.
The players did, right.
Okay, but here's what happened after that. Mm-hmm. The owner got in on it, and the Mets is a franchise. I'll show you the tweet if you need to see it.
No, I've seen the tweet.
Hey, if we get 10,000 retweets about Donnie Diesel, you're going to win something, whatever it was exactly, right?
I think they said to see a picture of him. Like we'd finally get the reveal of him.
So while they're holding Chili Davis and this guy Tom Slater, I don't know nothing about, out to dry, and ultimately they fire him because Francisco Lindor can't get a hit. And let's be honest, that's what it's about. If Lindor is hitting the ball, or let me get this right, the Mets put out a different thing. I want to make sure I have this right. When they fired him, Zach Scott, who's the GM now, said that the New York Met players, and I'm quoting now, Evan, need, quote, a better support system.
Yeah.
Wow. How about this? We gave you $341 million. That's your support system. You're 0 for your last 21. And it cost Chili Davis and Tom Slater his job.
Here's the problem. Let's go back further. Because
Donnie Diesel, my ass.
I agree that Francisco Lindor doing nothing this entire season hasn't helped Chili Davis's case.
Oh, got him fired.
Okay, really?
Yes.
You don't think last year got him fired even though he wasn't with the team? Chili Davis has been fired numerous times.
Yes, he has.
And a part of why Chili Davis has been fired, and I feel bad for him, so I'm not going to try to paint him out to be a bad guy here, is that his hitting philosophy is old school. Okay? His hitting philosophy is not reliant on launch angle. His hitting philosophy is more with go hit the ball the other way and cut down on strikeouts.
Old school baseball, right?
Now, personally, I'm not against that.
How
let
could
me
you
take
be?
my... Well, new age baseball is.
Right, but
Zach Scott is.
But you have spoken, I think, eloquently here that launch angle's killing baseball.
Correct. I am not anti-Chili Davis. I want to make that clear. But what I want to get into is why they got fired. Because it isn't as simple as Lindor's 0 for his last million. It's not.
I want to be clear that we're talking about two different things. I don't care. I know why he got fired.
Why did he get fired?
They've got the worst offense in baseball.
And it dates back to last year. And his philosophy is completely different than the front office.
So let me be clear. I don't care that he got fired.
Okay.
And you have all the ammunition you need to have fired him.
Okay.
So I want to be very clear. I'm not opposed to those guys being fired. I'm not. Okay? What my opposition here is that the New York Mets made a mockery of
Okay,
it.
then let's go step by step with that. Let's go to that. Pete Alonso on Saturday night, after the Mets got what was a huge victory in my mind, could turn out to be meaningless, we'll see. Pete Alonso went to town on this Donnie Diesel character.
Yes.
Do you have an issue with Pete Alonso?
Today I do. Yesterday I did not because I didn't know that Chili Davis was getting fired.
No, and I agree.
Yeah.
And like, I guess this is on us. I never thought about, wow, this makes Chili Davis look like a fool. I never thought about that.
No, I didn't.
I thought Donnie Diesel was fun. We're having a good time. All right, so Pete Alonso goes crazy about Donnie Diesel. He then does it again on Sunday night. He's on SportsCenter talking about Donnie Diesel. The New York Mets Twitter account, which is not an arm of the front office, it's some 25-year-old kid running a Twitter account, decides, let's run with this. The owner, trying to feel cool, we touched on this yesterday, trying to feel a part of the group, runs with it too. Where's the issue?
And then the organization ran with
special.
it.
By doing what?
Everyone was in love with Donnie Diesel for about a 48-hour period.
Because they actually showed a pulse offensively.
Okay, but my only point is this. Once the organization adopts the Donnie Diesel thing.
Right.
And it was good. It was fun.
It was fun.
It showed some personality.
And by the way, it was fun.
Good.
It was fun for 3 innings yesterday when the Mets had 5 runs in 3 innings against Wainwright, and then the bats went to sleep for the last 6 innings.
My issue is you can't embrace that as an organization when you're firing the guy. You can't. Listen, maybe it's semantics. So here's my question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that this Donnie Diesel lives on now? Or do you think
it's a great question because
there's no way he does.
If you're Alonso, forget about how the Mets handled it. Let's look at the players because the players ran with Donnie Diesel.
And we did too.
And
we did too. The fan base loved it.
We loved it because the Mets were winning and they were scoring runs.
Correct.
Like even last night, great, they scored 5 runs. They didn't do anything for the last 6 innings.
Which is also why it's interesting, the report came out that Sandy Alderson made the decision a week ago. The timing's interesting because you're coming off, 3 of your best offensive games of the year.
Craig, here's the issue with this. Because, no, I agree with you. The timing looks very
got 13 runs in the last 2 games.
When the most infamous coaching firings in New York Met history occurred at Yankee Stadium. When Steve Phillips... Yeah,
I was going Willie Randolph getting on the plane, but okay.
Not even that. I'll tell you why. The Mets had an 8-game losing streak. They were about to get swept by the Yankees in 1999, and Steve Phillips fired everyone but Bobby Valentine. He fired Bob Apodaca. He fired the hitting coach, Tom Robson, I think was it. Who cares? He fired everybody. And the Mets responded. They won the Sunday night game, and they went on this great run. And so that 99 team is remembered as, they got going when they fired coaches.
Okay.
And even Willie Randolph, because you brought that up, the Mets got hot after they fired Willie. As much as you and I on separate shows bitched about the handling by the New York Mets, the Mets played better under Jerry Manuel. That's a fact. Coaches and managers being fired sometimes sparks teams.
Yeah.
But they usually happen when things are bad. The New York Mets have scored runs the last 3 days.
Right.
What Sandy Alderson and Zach Scott failed at is that they have an approach to hitting that's different than maybe what I want and what you want and certainly what Chili Davis wants. They didn't hire Chili Davis. Brody Van Wagenen did. They should have fired him before the season started.
Right.
This season never should have started with a guy whose hitting philosophy is diametrically opposed to this front office.
I don't disagree with that.
It made no sense. And I don't want to hear about COVID and there was so much going on because they hired a GM and then he's sexting pictures and they had to get rid of him. They took over this franchise, Craig. And whether I like it or you like it or not is irrelevant. You've got to build the franchise in your image. Chili Davis got fired by the Chicago Cubs, and the biggest rip on him was he doesn't think launch angle's a big deal. He's not new school. So let me ask you this, and this is my criticism of the New York Mets. It's different than yours, but we're different guys. Why did they start the year with a hitting philosophy that the front office completely disagrees with?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know the answer. My focus, and not that that's not a worthy conversation for diehard Met fans to get into. I get it. It's been 23 games, whatever it is, and they've already panicked when it comes to that.
It's a panic move to fire coaches. I agree.
No doubt.
I agree.
And the invention of this Donnie Diesel thing, I think, adds to it. COVID now is the excuse for why it didn't happen a week ago. And when you played out, if Francisco Lindor was hitting the ball, nobody would have any problem.
I think he would have been fired anyway.
I don't know about that.
I think he would have been. And
the Mets, I'm going to keep going back to this. the Mets embraced, promoted, and marketed something that is demeaning.
By doing what? By offering a chance to see a picture of a fictitious guy?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That offends your sensibilities?
It does. Yes, it does. Because the guy got fired over it.
Well, look, he didn't get fired over it.
I don't know who runs the Mets Twitter account.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's the Mets.
Yeah, it's the Mets, but it's not a high-level executive.
No, it doesn't matter to me.
Do you think the guy who ran the Twitter account knew Chili Davis was going to be fired?
I don't. But
exactly.
The Mets are the Mets.
What
doesn't
do you mean
matter.
The Mets are the Mets.
The Mets have a public image problem.
So you think Zach Scott has to step in on social media and say, look, I got to tell you a secret, 25-year-old kid.
Well,
we're going to fire.
Why do you think he's a 25-year-old kid that does it?
I don't know. I'm making an assumption. Is that okay?
Oh, I don't know.
What do you think
I thought you knew who the guy was.
Actually, dude, no, I'm kidding. I have no idea.
Like, my point is, this is, unfortunately, when I sing the song, as I sing frequently here, it's the same old Mets.
It's not the same old Mets.
This is the kind of crap I'm talking about.
What is the same old Mets about it?
Let's promote a fictional hitting instructor and then fire the real guy.
Because Sandy Alderson, bro, is not running the Twitter account, nor is Zach Scott. And if you have an issue with anybody and you can have one, have it with the players.
How about this?
Because they had a good old time with this little nickname guy.
So how about this? Could, for once in my lifetime, could the Mets just get on the same page? Is that possible?
So the social media guys got to know the future of the hitting coach?
When the New York Mets are promoting a fictional character while the GM is firing the real guy, that's a problem.
How many people do you think knew if they really had made this decision a week ago, which you can believe or not believe, by the way?
That's someone else's report.
Right. But I'm saying,
it was Joel Sherman's report.
Do you believe that?
I don't think Joel makes things up.
Okay, so you believe that?
I buy that, yeah.
Do you think, how many people
because it makes sense based on their performance.
Sure. Yeah. How many people in the organization do you think knew they were going to fire Chili Davis and Tom Slater?
I think the owner knew.
Okay, I'll give you the owner. How many people?
Let's go one by one. If the owner knew, how does the owner play along with this dopey Donnie Diesel thing?
Because he wants to be a part of the Donnie Diesel joke.
Yeah, so
exactly.
He's the guy desperate to be cool who's just rich but not cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Social media guy has no idea they're firing Chili Davis and Tom Slater.
I would say that's probably accurate.
Oh, so you agree with me?
I do.
So whether it's a 25-year-old kid or a 55-year-old woman or a 65-year-old man.
Probably not a 65-year-old man.
Probably not.
Probably not.
But if you agree, they don't know Chili Davis is being fired, how are you making a big deal or care that they did some dopey promotion that no one really cares about to see a fictitious character?
The Mets have an image problem.
What's the image problem?
That they're stupid.
No, the image problem is that they're not good right now. They're not hitting enough, and that their $300 million man hasn't gotten a hit in about a year and a half. That's their problem.
For his last 21. Boy, signing that name on that contract was the smartest thing that kid ever did.
And do you think, and do you have an issue with the Met players getting Chili Davis fired? Do you think that happened?
Do I think the Met, their performance got him fired.
No. They're the ones who created a fictitious hitting coach.
Yeah.
Okay? Do you think that in any way showed that maybe they didn't respect or like or care about Chili Davis and Tom Slater? Oh, it did?
I do.
So then rip the players.
I'm going to.
Good. Go ahead. Because to blame the social media campaign.
I'm not.
And even Steve Cohen. Come on.
I'm blaming the Met organization when I say that. The fact that guys who did know Steve Cohen, guys who did know the social media guy, decide to have a good time for 48 hours and promote this fiction. Here's what they did. They just killed Donnie Diesel, is what they did.
You don't think he's ever mentioned again?
No. You can't now. So what they did was...
You can't stop Pete Alonso, though, Craig.
You can't?
He's the one.
Pete Alonso, I guarantee you Donnie Diesel's dead.
So you don't think Pete Alonso ever brings him up again?
No.
Okay.
I think Donnie Diesel died a terrible internet death in the last 8 hours.
So Pete Alonso,
that's what I think.
By the way, who had a great night last night, had 3 hits, continues to look great defensively.
Oh, here's the question. Did he credit Donnie Diesel?
I didn't hear him after the game.
Donnie Diesel's dead.
He will never mention him. So Pete, it's 2 home runs tonight. Nothing.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
He's going to have to thank this guy, Quattlebaum.
He's a fascinating guy, this you Quattlebaum.
Please don't do that.
No, trust me. You'll be fascinated.
Yeah, later, off the air.
Trust me.
We're already too far into the weeds.
Trust me.
When you brought up Bob
Has
Apodaca.
nothing to do with weeds. It's about who this guy is. He's a comedy writer. Did you know that about
No, I did not.
Did you know he played basketball in Finland and won a slam dunk contest?
No, I did not.
Oh, there you go.
That's our new hitting instructor?
Those are the weeds you like, Craig.
Maybe Quattlebaum is really Donnie Diesel. What do I know?
The whole time.
I'll tell you this. Pete Alonso owes Chili Davis an apology. I can tell you that much. And, the more you think about it, for the last 2 days prior to the firing of Chili Davis, the fact that Pete Alonso wasn't crediting Chili Davis or Tom Slater and invented this other fictional character
that is
credit,
fair.
That's a problem.
And Craig, that's where you can get me to agree with you. That the fictitious character over the last 72 hours,
Yeah.
right or wrong, this is our impression, showed a lack of, maybe the word is respect, maybe it's they don't believe he's that good of a hitting coach, they don't want to go with his strategy, but I think it did show something about how they view Chili Davis and Tom Slater, and that's fair. Now knowing that they got fired, Craig, because in fairness, we didn't say this yesterday. We got to be fair about that. We didn't come on and say...
we didn't know that they were going to get fired.
No. That's not my point.
I thought the Mets scored some runs.
No.
They wouldn't get fired.
No, but what you could have said, and you didn't, and there's nothing wrong with it, I didn't say it either, was, yeah, this is really cute, Donnie Diesel, but what about the hitting coaches? It's kind of showing disrespect towards them.
I did not say that.
No one said that.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, though, what do we think? It looks disrespectful. Yeah. Now knowing that they're gone... Yeah, it looked like Pete Alonso and everybody else had to invent a fictitious hitting coach who's about ripping the heaters than listening to Slater and Davis.
I guess. Well, listen, we'll get your take on it. Plus, let's not be remiss. Today's a big day in New York sports because the no-good snakes in the grass, a.k.a. the Houston Astros, are coming to the Bronx. How many days, Evan?
568 days.
568 days.
Can you believe that?
Since it went down. And this is your first chance to let the Astros know whether they played for them then or not, how you feel about them. And we're going to take you right up into the Yankee pregame show. So we'll get to that today as well. I can't wait. I even brought in a garbage can today.
Oh, in honor of this?
I'm going to bring it in after the break. Yeah. I'm going to bang on my garbage can today.
You know what pisses me off more than the garbage cans? The buzzers, because we don't know that yet. And I believe, and this is just me, I believe they were probably using buzzers in 2019. The last time you saw the Astros, we all remember what happened. Game 6 of the ALCS, DJ hits the dramatic home run, and then Aroldis Chapman's got a smile on his face as he gives up the series-ending home run. I kind of think there were buzzers being used.
Yeah.
And that's what pisses me off the most, bro, because we don't know for sure. We know about the garbage cans, and they'll hear about that tonight, but I think it's about 2019 and what more they may have done that we don't know about. So 8,000 people, it better sound like 50,000 tonight.
And I applaud the Yankees for giving out Yankee garbage cans tonight. That is a solid Oh, they're not? What's it? Oh, no, I'm being told they're not giving out garbage cans.
Wouldn't that be great,
So
though?
I guess you got to bring your own. They're not going to let you in with garbage cans?
No.
I'm being told in my ear right now, you cannot bring your own garbage can to Yankee Stadium tonight. Well, that was a good idea.
So what do you do then?
You act like a New Yorker, and you let them know exactly how you feel. I have no worries or problems. I know what Yankee fans are going to do tonight, and so do you.
Oh, I do.
Yes, it's going to be epic tonight.
Who's getting the most heat?
Like
is it Altuve? Is it Correa? Is it Bregman? Or is it just everybody? It doesn't matter.
Our main man, Big Mac's going to the game tonight. He's a Yankee fan.
Is it Correa?
Who's the number one guy, Big Mac?
Probably for me, it's Correa because he became so vocal after it.
He's a douche.
He really became a douche.
Yeah.
He gets on Trout. He gets on all the other guy, Bellinger, who had something to say again. He has to stand up there and run his mouth.
Okay, so
He's
Correa's your guy.
He's my guy. Craig, it's going to be really awkward.
Who leads off for them tonight?
Jose Altuve, probably.
So Altuve's going to be the first to feel it.
He's probably going to get it worse.
And
specifically for Yankees, the memory of the home run.
C-Mac, what are you going to do next year on opening day? It's going to be awkward when the Yankees sign Carlos Correa and he's the shortstop for the New York Yankees.
Well, we stop.
It's going to be a little awkward there, bro.
I'll get it all out today.
Listen,
I let it out today.
Yep, it'll be a
for Roger
cleansing
Clemens.
moment.
You could cheer for Correa if he's wearing the pinstripes.
Absolutely.
222, Carton and Roberts on the fan. We got lots cooking. We got the Knicks. We'll get to them coming up. But you're a diehard Met fan. Your franchise, again, has embarrassed themselves.
Stop it.
Nothing you can do about it. It's in the DNA.
Stop it.
You know what I think we need?
DNA,
I think we need to kill a pig over there.
That's what we got to do.
Yeah, I think we need to have some kind of pig sacrifice over there in the parking lot. I'm going to have to plan that and help you guys out.
And that will cure all the ills?
Because at the end of the day, I'm a New Yorker first. I want New York to do well.
Now, you hate the Mets.
And it pains me to see
It doesn't pain you.
the New York Mets embarrassing themselves like this.
It doesn't pain you.
The owner's trying to be so cool.
There's a dopey smile on your face, and you've had it since the moment you found out Chili Davis was being fired. Not because you have any ill will towards Chili.
I like Chili Davis.
You like Chili, and I do too.
I love Chili.
It's more... I know you do.
Especially with some guac on top.
Guac it off.
That's right.
But you just like any opportunity to take a shot at me and Met fans. That's the bottom line. Just admit it.
Plus,
that's it.
Later today,
it's fine.
The greatest living baseball player did it again last night.